Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to actually do a reaction to this video, which is made by Coding with D. And actually, I stumbled upon this video, and it's 9 minutes 30 seconds, and it says no code app developer is a trap. Development is a trap, and she's actually talking about no-code developer tools like Flow. And because I consider myself as a Flow expert and also Flow ambassador, I feel like I should actually react to that video because there are actually a couple of things, like the majority of the things are actually not true. And I'm going to say why, and I'm going to say what I think, according to my opinion, I think what she said was not true. And yeah, before I begin, actually, I just want to say, like always, thank you very much for all the people who are subscribed to my channel, and also all the paid members to my channel as well. If you consider to be a fanatic, you have like access to 30 plus videos that will show you techniques that you can actually achieve anything using Flow, which is not considered as a no code, but actually a low code. And now they're actually wanting to actually shift away from even from the low code. And if coding with D, if D was actually a member to my channel, if she was a fanatic or above, she will have no problems using Flow, in my opinion, and she will not be having and making this video. But before I begin, also I wanted to mention that 1 year ago, actually, I did this video which was a reaction to below Fireship Flow review overpowered mobile app building. But this video was actually turned out to be a paid video actually from Flow, and it actually got a lot of hate because most of the people that are following this channel below Fireship are actually, I think they're actually developers, and all the developers actually don't like no code, low code, or whatever they called those platforms. And actually, if you haven't watched that video, it's a very interesting video as well to watch. But today we're going to watch this video, which is coming from Coding with D. And like I said, I'll try to break it down. And sorry that the video will probably not play correctly, but you should be able to hear her. And also, of course, if you want to watch this video, go to her channel and watch it from there. But yeah, let's actually see what she's talking about, and I'll talk about it. Yeah.
No code app development is a trap. I fell into this.
Okay, first of all, no code developer is a trap. This is actually this statement. It's said by a lot of people, and it is like the mentality of a lot of people. That for me personally, it's people who are also always saying like, when I was young, actually, to for your surprise, maybe I was using like Windows 98, and then when I released XP, I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. But a lot of people are actually saying that don't upgrade, don't upgrade. But no, that's not true. That's not me. I'm actually upgrading to the latest version. I want to use the latest tools, and I want those tools to actually help me. So what I'm trying to say is that saying that no code and low code tools are a trap for all the tools out there is a trap of its own, isn't it? Because it's not. This is simply not true. I mean, if you say that, for example, um, let's say one of the country, it's not a good country. Well, for some people it is. For some people it's not. Like that, like we say in Bulgaria, uh, there's a tourist, let's say, for every there's a passenger for every train, right? So like I would say, but I would talk like mainly for Flow right now. But I would just say that uh, Flow it's definitely not a trap. So I would just say this is the first lie that she's saying. She's not saying about Flow, but she's considering Flow as low code, no code. So I would say that.
this trap and lost a lot of money. So this is my story.
So when you say a lot of money, I would definitely also say that if you don't use further flow, you actually lose a lot of more money, and that's actually the main goal for the flow. The main goal is actually to build faster and to build better, which means that when you combine those two, that means cheaper. So definitely, I don't agree with that, and definitely, I would say that this is not true for further flow. Like I said, I'm talking specifically for further flow. She will talk about Bubble as well, but I'm not talking about Bubble because I haven't like used Bubble because I don't think like I need Bubble. I only need further flow, and further flow it's amazing too for me.
One day I had an idea. I know, real me to have an idea. But I thought, hang on, this idea would make a great app. I didn't know how to build mobile apps. I haven't done it at that stage, but I did know how to code, just not mobile apps. And I did some research and I figured I should just do no code. It was 2023 at
Okay, first of all, if you're a coder, why you go to no code tools? That's something that you need to think. I'm actually a coder myself, and yes, I can say that I am not. I was not a mobile, let's say, mobile coder or mobile developer. But actually, to be honest, I used like 1 or 2 years before Flow, and before I discovered Flow, or before Flow was a thing. And I actually have knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge about Flutter itself. But generally, if you are like, in my personal opinion, if you are a real developer, I don't know if D it's a real developer, but if you're a real developer, I will for sure make sure that I know, first of all, how to do it without those tools. I myself personally, I'm using those tools again. I'm not a good UI designer, so Flow is actually having templates, which is great for me. Just building the UI and the UX with those templates is like saving me like a huge amount of time. Like when I did my app for 1 month with the Flutter framework with the Flow, I actually was able to do it in 1 week. So that's why I'm using. I'm not sure why she haven't said in the video why she wanted to go with no code tools. That's actually a good question for her. Why she choose that?
that stage. And I thought, hey, the technology must be out there. And to be honest, I just didn't want to learn a new programming language. So I opted for
So learning a new program language is, if you already know, that's a common fact. If you already know like 2 or 3 program languages, then it's very easy to learn a new one. But yeah, I get it. I mean, if you're lazy, then Flow it's definitely for you.
a platform called Flutterflow. And Flutterflow is a no code app development platform.
Yeah, exactly. So nowhere in in the Flow platform, there it says that Flow is actually no code platform. There is no sentence in the platform that the platform is no code platform. I mean, if you go to the website, I don't see anywhere here that it says this is no code. Okay, maybe here, right? So it says no code is. Yeah, it says no code is, which is true actually, but this doesn't mean this is no code platform. And it doesn't say like this is no code platform, use it, and so on and so forth. I mean, I
Platform. It is probably one of the most popular no code platforms out there.
yeah, that's true. It is one of the most popular platforms. Yeah.
And on Flutterflow, you can actually build iOS and Android apps without using code. The back end of Flutterflow is actually the language Flutter, but the idea here is that you will not be programming, you won't be actually coding in Flutter. It's more of a drag and drop platform that you can start building apps. And so I began to build my app. And I think
Okay, so the next question for her is how many days, weeks, or month did you spend building your app, first of all, and second of all, what was your app? Because they're like, I know apps with literally like 3 pages, which are amazing. Like the idea, it's amazing idea. And I know apps that will have like 100 pages, and then the amazing is not so great, the idea is not so great. But I'm not talking about the idea here. I'm talking that it depends how big is your app, what your app wants to achieve, and then also how what is the time that you have spent using this new platform. Those are actually a good question for her.
I started the process correctly. I looked at
Okay, so when you say start the process correctly, um, that's like, okay, let's see.
their documentation. I watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials.
For sure, she haven't watched my videos. To be honest, I'm definitely sure about that.
I created the wireframe on Balsamic. I would
You don't need a wireframe. I don't think you need a wireframe with Flow. Like spending the time creating wireframe in some other platform makes no sense for me, because you can spend the same time or even faster doing it with Flow. And the best part is that when you have the wireframe, you can actually also, that's the wireframe. It's actually the same thing as the actual project. So you definitely don't need um, wireframe there. You can also see her email. Actually, now that I see about it, I can ask her the questions that I asked in my video, or someone actually viewing this video. If you can write them down, those questions, and send them by the email, that would be amazing. And she said, I wouldn't say I was around 20 or 30% complete.
say I was around 20 to 30% complete when things just started not looking right. I wanted to do specific things on my app, which I thought was reasonably easy, but I just couldn't do it. And
Okay, so first of all, let me just go back a little bit and see that she is actually having. So first of all, she was like blurring the name of her app in Photoflow for some reason. You can actually see the name of the app over here on the on the top left. So if you want to blur your app name, you have to blur it over here as well. It's Coder's Nest, and yes, you probably want to do tutorials for your like an app that you do tutorials for them, and people will be able to buy them. I think this is what you're trying to build, like only like looking at this page, I see that you haven't like used any of the versions, which means like from my personal perspective, you spent like not more than 1 week, not more than 5 days, like building this and getting to this point. And yeah, I would be surprised if you spent more than 5 days. And also, you don't see like the widget tree over here, but I guess that she have some issues that will be easily, very easily, like manageable and doneable. I don't know if it's doneable, it's a word. Using the community, or using my videos, or using my Discord channel. Actually, there are a lot of people there that, and every Wednesday, actually, I do sessions in my Discord Q&As to answer those questions. But what I see here, it's a very, very, very simple page. And if she has difficulties, and I think her difficulties are actually in the backend, connecting to the backend. I don't see what backend she's actually using, but I guess Firebase. And definitely, this is a very simple thing to do in Flow. Definitely.
which I thought was reasonably easy,
It is easy.
but I just couldn't do it. And because it wasn't a default feature, I thought, hang on, I know with Flutterflow, if you want that uniqueness, that ability to customize things, you can create a custom
Okay. So first of all, I have to say that many of the users in Flow they think that they need a custom code or a custom widget for that, but probably not. Like very specific cases you need, but in her case, I didn't saw like something that she need a custom widget for. But maybe I'm not right. I mean, maybe she only showed us one page. So
widget, but I couldn't do that because it actually didn't work. So I reached a
okay, and she said it did not work. What did not work? What you tried to do and it was not working. So it's a little bit how to say this. It's not good when you're mentioning something did not work, and then like how we can help you if you just say it did not work. And yes, I agree that if you have an app that is like if you have like a specific idea and you want to do it like very specific thing, then you probably need a custom code for that. And I think that's normal, and that's why Flow it's considered to be a low code, not a no code. And also, like I said, Flow is trying to even move away from the low code as well. It's and providing like a tool that you can use to be more powerful if you're a developer, for example. So yeah, I agree with that. You probably need some custom code. Yeah, but just saying it did not work. What did not work? So that's very broad. I mean, if I go to your tutorials that you're planning to do, and something did not work, we'll just say, okay, did not work, and I just give up and say, make a video. It's like making tutorials and they just don't work. No, I'll probably reach you and then I'll ask you why did it not work and what happened. So I'm not sure if she actually did that, but I think she didn't actually.
roadblock and I could not continue. So then I thought, I'm having so many issues. Surely it's not me. And I was right. It is not only me. 5 months ago, there was a post on Reddit under the Flutter
Yeah, very important here. It says 5 months ago, first of all, which is super old. Like feature for the flow, it's releasing features like at least twice per month. 5 months ago, that means that like in average, Flow has released around 10 new blocks of features. Like in every block, we have at least three main features. So that's 15 around 50. So no, that's more actually. Sorry. So that's around 30 new features in Flow. So what I'm trying to say is that this is very old information. 5 months, and considering as a coding and a platform, it's super old. Like the last update was like 5 days ago that Flow did, and it was actually amazing. You can watch it in my channel. It was amazing update of Flow. And also, if you look Flutter Dev Reddit, it's not a good place to look. It's actually a good place to look in the Flow Reddit or in the Flow community or in my Discord channel. Those are the recommended place for me that I recommended to you to look for, because the Flutter Dev Reddit is actually the members there are actually developers, and of course, developers will say the same thing that you're trying to say to all the people using your channel. And your channel has around 24,000 subscribers, and might have only 5,000 subscribers. Yeah, and I get that your videos are much better than mine. There is no doubt about it.
dev subreddit. And it said Flutterflow raised 25.5 million. Anyway, that post actually wasn't the interesting part. The interesting part was the comment below it. Now, it is quite a long comment, but it summarized my issues that I was having with Flutterflow. I was quite active in the Flutterflow environment for about a year and a half. At the time, I was very happy with it, to be honest. I would say I was in the 10 to 90% project completion phase of my app. However, when I got to the last 10%, I realized that Flutterflow is a 90% completion product. They go on to say, in my experience, when I hit the 90% and started seeing the cracks, I thought, oh well, that sucks. Luck
Okay. So first of all, yeah, I mean, if you cannot code, it will always it's not 90, it will be like 50, 60, or whatever percent. So based on my experience, like all of the clients that I had so far, there is not a single client, and I had like more than, let's say, 30, 40, 50 clients already. Not a single client, actually. I haven't said to a single client that, sorry, this cannot be done in Flow. You have to actually move away from Flow. Like, yeah, like maybe 80% of my clients, I need to actually write to them a custom code, like a custom action, a custom widget, and using a package. But that's normal. I mean, if you're using a Flutter app, you do the same thing. Like I said again, Flow is not a no code tool, so it's very normal to actually write custom widgets and custom code. So I totally don't agree with that statement that you're stuck on the 90% thing. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. Like there are thousands of apps probably already released using Flow. Are you just saying to me that all those apps are people who have stuck on the 90% and they're just releasing the apps like that? I don't think so.
Luckily, I can add a custom widget. So I started there. And wow, adding custom widgets and trying to integrate them into the Flutterflow codebase without any sort of error logging was awful. After
Yeah, that's another lie. Of course, there's an error logging. Of course, when you write a wrong code in Flow, you actually get the error message. You get the where's the line. It's like normal. You get the line, where's the line, what is the error that you did, and everything. It's much like it's using VS Code.
this, I thought, well, I might as well find a dev to help. I then
That's very bad. I mean, if you hit that road, then it's no coming back from there. This is like going with going like with, I don't know, like with the latest car, and then decided, okay, let's move back to my old car. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. And you don't have to hire a dev which will actually ex- uh, which will actually tell you to start the project over again. Makes no sense. Really makes no sense.
hire Bluecry to help with one of their custom packages. And they couldn't figure it out either. Finally,
Do you know why? Do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because they haven't actually used, you haven't actually, or he or you haven't actually used a real Flow expert. So if you actually go to, I wanted to open this website, but if you go to experts, .flowflow.com, sorry, it's not .com, .flowflow.io, you can actually see the experts that you can use. Of course, there are a lot of experts in the community of Flow, and of course, there are a lot of experts actually in my Discord channel as well. I'm not the only expert out there. Like there are a lot of experts out there that can actually show you, that can actually help you with your code, and they are actually real experts. So, like, uh, I'm talking about this website, and if you scroll down, if you scroll enough, you actually see all the experts, and surprise, surprise, you actually see my name here as well, because I'm considering myself as an expert. and they're randomly actually. So that's why I don't think that I'm on the last place. They're actually randomly put. Sometimes I'm on the first place, but yeah.
I thought, that sucks. I guess I have hit the limit of Flutterflow and need to
Yeah, Flutterflow doesn't have a limit. That's another thing that it's not good to say. I mean, it's a lie, or you don't know how Flutterflow is working. Flutterflow, like you said at the beginning of your video, is creating a Flutter code which you can actually extend using another Flutter code. So you can actually write Flutter code inside Flutterflow, and that means that there are no limitations. Technically there are some limitations, but Flutterflow is actually keep on like updating the platform, so there are no limitations. And in FFDC, they're going to announce even more features that will lift the limitations. And I'll just give you one example that Flutterflow actually had that issue that you were not able to change the minimum SDK version of Android. And now they change it actually, and next week they're going to release a new feature that you're actually going to be able to do that. You'll be able to change that number, and then this limitation will be lifted as well. So like I said, technically Flutterflow doesn't have any limitations. That's why I'm using Flutterflow, and that's why a lot of people are actually using Flutterflow, because of that reason.
download the code. So in Flutterflow, you do have the option of downloading your code base and getting the physical code after you develop your app. So I did. And dear Lord, that code base was awful.
Yeah, that's not true. First of all, this post was made 5 months ago. Since then, I think that was before Flowflow implemented the model structure, and now the code is even more beautiful, and if it's even better. And also, um, what is actually, I mean, coding in Flutter, it's very straightforward, because everything in Flutter is a widget. Even the page, actually the whole page is a widget. So you're just building blocks. It's like building a puzzle. And there is when you build a puzzle, it's technically not possible to get it wrong or horrible. It's the puzzle. There is only one way of building it. So for me, technically, I see the code. I know how to code in Flutter, so I don't think that there is. I definitely think that the code is not horrible. Like I said, this is 5 months ago, so make your source better, and not rely on single post that was made 5 months ago.
It was straight up horrible. Spaghetti was an understatement. So then I thought, well, I need someone with more experience because this is getting out of control. So I hired a dev. They took one look and tried and then said, we can rebuild it in 2 weeks. And so we
Okay, if they said we can rebuild it in 2 weeks, I will I will bet that I can do this app in 2 days in Flowflow. If they say that they can rebuild the whole app in 2 weeks, that I would definitely say that I can do the same app in 2 days. And I would say if I cannot do it, I'll just pay my work for the 2 days to you. But if I can, then you just have to uh, probably write a new command and just say that this command is not true. I'm talking to the user who wrote that command in Reddit.
did. We are finally in a good place, but Flutterflow just about sank our startup. And what this person has experienced, and what many people have experienced with Flutterflow, was the same thing that I experienced. When I downloaded my Flutterflow code, it was terrible. And I don't even code in Flutter, but
Okay, so what are you showing? I mean, you're basically like clicking on the page, and and just scrolling on the opacity. So that's nothing. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I realized it was terrible.
So what do you mean terrible? I mean, define terrible. What do you mean the code was terrible?
There were so many errors, and I could
How there are errors? I mean, they couldn't be an errors, because if there are errors, the project will not be built. And if there are errors, the errors are on you actually. And another thing that I want to say is that if there are errors in the project, you actually see it over here in the bug icon that there are errors, but I don't see any errors that you have. So no, there are not errors in your code. Definitely there are no errors in your code. Or if there are errors, where are the errors?
tell because at this stage I started to actually learn Flutter to understand my Flutter flow code, and it just looked wrong. And it's not
What do you mean wrong? It makes no sense. You're just saying the code looked wrong. What did look wrong? Why did it look wrong? Why you're saying that? I mean, it's very easy to do videos, and it's very easy to do like videos for clicks. But just to say the code is wrong, no, the code is not wrong. And why you're misleading all your subscribers and all your people that are actually watching your video? That's a good question to answer.
only Flutter that has these issues. People also posted similar issues with
Okay, and now here she's actually talking about Bubble, which is not very interesting for me because, like I said, I'm not using Bubble. So we're just actually going to skip that part for Bubble, and we're going to go back to where she's actually talking the final thoughts.
plugins which could hinder specific apps. Now, at this stage, you might be asking, fine, there's issues with these no-code app development platforms, but why is it a
There's issue with everything. I mean, do you think that there's no issues if you start to develop an app yourself? Really?
trap? And I get it. I know that every platform does have its pros and cons. And yes, you can still build functional apps with Flutterflow and Bubble and other no-code platforms. But the reason why I think it is
Okay. Another thing that I just want to say is that I think this is an old version of Flow that she's actually showing. Like, I'm not really sure, but I think this is an old version of Flow that she's actually showing. And another thing that I just wanted to like quickly mention, you can actually see it over here. She's using a version 4.1, and I think it's 59. Yeah, exactly. But the current version of Flow is actually 4.174. And yeah, I know that of course there's like a version. It's not the same version, but I'm just saying, like with every single version, Flow is getting better and better. Okay, and looking through the app, you can actually see, for example, it says create account screen, create profile screen. So why do you need create account screen and create profile screen? So that's interesting. Why you're naming your screens. And you can actually see under this home screen, she actually have incorrect screen. It says incorrect screen. And she said, I have like a lot of errors in my project. Yeah, I mean, of course you have a lot of errors in your project if you have like incorrect screens and you have like all the screens are for the out, like roadmap screen, trying question screen. I mean, I definitely see that you were just trying some things in PhotoFlow and it did not work for you. But you have to spend some time with the platform. You cannot just think that I'll just go and for 2 days I'm going to learn the platform. It does not work like that. Of course. What things you could not do? Like when you say there were specific things I could not do, why you were not able to do it? Is it because you have now capabilities of doing, or you're saying that Flow was not able to do it for you? That's a good question. Yes. Again, 90% is mentioned again. No, that's not true. That's definitely not true. You can develop the whole app using Flow. There is no restrictions. Like I said again, she's stating that there's restrictions. There are no restrictions. What are the restrictions of Flow? What restrictions did you hit in Flow? Tell me. I'll fix your issues. Why you're saying that? If you're saying that you cannot build good unique apps, that means that you are not able to build good unique apps with Flutter. But that's an issue. If you're saying that, that's an issue. There are a lot of Flutter apps that are good and that are unique. And yeah, of course, you can build unique and good apps with Flow. Of course, there are a lot of apps that are already built in Flow. I'm actually building Flow apps that are unique and good, for sure. I don't get it. I mean, the Flow tool give you the opportunity to like build it fast, and of course there are some things that you need to follow, but the things that you need to it's like canvas, right? You have the it's like when you're painting, you have the canvas, and then you have like the tools to paint. And this is what Flow is actually giving you. The Flow is the tool to paint, but what you're going to paint is actually the unique part, and the beautiful part, the unique part. I'll just skip Bubble because that's true, actually. Building application faster than ever, that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah. What is the lie about that? What is the lie about that? It's everything stated over here. It's true. You can actually deploy your app with a single click. That's true because they're using code magic. And actually, when you click it, you can actually, when you set up everything, you can actually click it and deploy a new version of your app. That's true. Again, it was terrible. What is terrible? What was terrible? You have 24,000 subscribers, and you're just saying I downloaded that code and it was terrible. What was terrible? Like those are the things that people are trying to like tell you, and without anything like underneath. Like you cannot just say it's terrible. What is terrible? Because I will say, yeah, I have only 5,000 subscribers, so I guess that I don't even still have 5,000 subscribers by the recording of this video. And people will say, why I should listen to you? You have like 5,000 subscribers, you have 24. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I am an expert on further flow. So when I say that this is not true, and it's not about not true, it's that she's saying it's terrible. What is not terrible? Let's talk about it, because I don't believe that, and I think this is a lie, actually. There was not a single iOS app that was rejected, and the reason was there was errors in the code. Not a single one that I know, and I know a lot of apps, believe me. Okay, wait a second. If you want a full ready production app and you want to do it the old fashioned way, what first of all, what would be the time that you spent doing the app? What would be the price that you're going to pay? Because I'm sure that Flow with Flow you're going to do it 3 times faster, at least 3 times faster, and I think it will going to cost you 3 times, at least 3 times cheaper. And you know why? The single reason I love Flow is that even if I pay someone to do my job, which is in my case they're actually paying me, but my clients can actually go to the project and change wherever they want to and have the whole freedom out there and deploy the project themselves. And that's actually a beauty that if you just pay, if you just go the normal way, you don't have that. And also, it's just saying like it's just like for me personally, it's just like Tesla or all the EVs out there are released, and this is the new technology, right? We didn't had that before, so massively at least. And now, if you want to buy a new car, probably you think about EV, or at least you think about it, or even buy it, because this is the new technology, and it's okay, maybe ugly, but it's better. It's much better than the old one. And you're releasing this video, and you're saying don't buy EVs because the old technology it's better. The old gasoline cars are better. I don't think so. I don't believe so. This is not how I think, and definitely I don't recommend that. No, that's not true. I'm a developer. I'm an app developer. I was an app developer before that using Flutter. And I'll definitely say I will raise my hands and I'll say definitely go for Flutterflow. Don't like pay don't pay anyone to build it for you. Go with Flutterflow. You can even build it yourself. Yeah, okay. Go to 90% and then build it until 90%, then pay someone to just give you that extra 10% push for the custom widget or custom action that you need. But still, you'll be like mildly away uh, in the finance thing. So you spend like at least 3 times less. I would agree, like 5 times less than what you're going to pay the normal way. You're saying. No, that's not true as well. That's not true. That's just saying it's not scalability. What backend you're using, how you're using it. I mean, Just think about it. Just think about that. You cannot say that for a platform you have used for 2 days or maybe 5 days. Yeah, I don't like this particular video. Maybe you have other videos, other good videos, but this particular one, it's like I said at the beginning, it's you haven't done your research. You're you keep on saying the same thing like many of the people are saying. And yeah, I think like I generally think that I have like stated my point as well. And I'm just saying, like, you can just say terrible, terrible, terrible. The code is outputting terrible. It's outputting like code with errors, and like saying that iOS will not like deploy your app. None of those things are true. So basically, the whole video, you're trying to make a point and to not use low code, no code tools. But like I said, I'm talking about flow in this particular video, in my video, and I'll say like all the things that you have say are actually lies, and they are not true. So I think you haven't, to be honest, I think you haven't like done it in purpose. I just think that you just don't know what flow is capable of, and yeah, you just probably did this video for clicks, to be honest, because the name of the video is "No Code App Developer is a Trap," and people will actually click on that and watch that. And you're just saying, don't like spend a lot of money hiring a real developer than trying to build it yourself for free, even for free. I mean, okay, probably not for free. Probably you can spend like a little bit amount of money, but yeah. So yeah, in conclusion, I'll just say my personal opinion, which is Flow. It's definitely not only for MVPs, but it's actually for final apps. There are a lot of apps develop on Flow. I have developed apps on Flow. I have actually pushed apps on the Play Store and App Store without having any issues, and all of them like big apps with 30, 40 pages and hundreds of thousands of members, users. So, yeah, I hope that video was helpful for you guys. And yeah, see you in the next one. If you actually see um, other videos that they talked about for the flow, and please let me know. I would love to do some reaction to those videos. And also, and just before I go, I just want to say thank you very much for the elite members of my YouTube channel who are actually Cloud Bedrock and JS now. So thank you very much for being an elite member, and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.